Hands up, please.
Why are you doing this?
Let me ask you this. What did you do to that girl?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
If anyone's up there, come down with your hands up now.
I think there's blood on this wall. Yeah, this looks like dried blood.
These cops just found the bloodstain.
Oh, Chad's about to get real. It's about to get spicy. Grab your popcorn.
Of a missing girl. Samantha Guthrie left her mother's house the previous day, never to be seen again, and her blood was just discovered on the walls of this abandoned house. But the police are about to realize that this is a couple's murder house, and the killers have already fled across town, hunting for their next victim.
No way.
Why don't you explain what's going on?
With no idea who the next victim of the killer couple could be,
It's about to
time
get
running
real,
out,
Chad.
detectives find themselves entangled in a web of multiple suspects, all tied to the abandoned murder house.
You're looking at some serious problems.
I got nothing to say to y'all. Got my attorney present. Nobody else sitting here. I got nothing to say.
Help us. This is serious. She deserves to be killed like this.
Everything started in November 2018, when a mother called police worried that her daughter had vanished without a trace. It had already been more than a day since anyone had seen 18-year-old Samantha Guthrie, and the cops arrived quickly to take her mother, Joni's, statement.
Hello. What's going on?
I need to file a missing person report.
Okay, for?
My daughter.
Okay. How old's your daughter?
She's 18.
Okay, so what makes her missing?
We can't find her. We got a call yesterday saying she was shot in the head.
Oh, nah, chill. Chill. That's her mom, bro. That's her mom. Who? She said somebody called or the cops called?
Brought in the trunk of a car, and they took off. The police were called yesterday. They went over to the house that it supposedly happened at. They checked. They said they didn't see anything.
Right. Okay. And where was this supposed to be at?
On Lillian.
Lillian. Where's Lillian at? I've never heard of it.
Little did this cop know, he'd become extremely familiar with Lillian Street, as it would become the site of hours and
Where is
hours
Lillian
of
Street? Anybody in the
investigation
chat
and
know
one of
where
the most
Lillian Street
disturbing
is at?
crimes to come out of the city in years.
What city?
But
Did
for
they mention
now,
the city?
It sounds as though Samantha was murdered, or at the very least kidnapped. But nobody
Nah,
can
this statement right here is crazy, bro. They said she was shot in the head, bro. That is wicked, bro. How you call somebody's mom and say that?
be sure. All this information came over a mysterious phone call from someone they didn't even know.
What's the address again?
375 Lillian.
Why would she be over there?
Because she's started getting into bad stuff.
Okay.
She turned 18. She left.
When was that?
Okay.
So that's the house right there?
I don't know what the house looks like.
Okay.
I didn't go there.
It turns out the house that Joni is talking about was due to be boarded up in just a few days. It's in a rough area of town and has been abandoned for months. And as Joni said, Samantha had been struggling heavily. She left home as soon as she turned 18 and instantly fell in with a bad crowd. She was often seen frequenting abandoned houses known
That's
to
how
be
it
used
usually
by drug
happens.
abusers and criminals.
That's how it usually happens, though, Chad. Like, I recommend that if you have a child, bro, keep them with you until they are ready to go, bro. Keep them with you until they are ready to go, bro, because that is how it usually happens. 18, I don't think your mind is fully developed on where you want to be in life or what you want to do. If you got your house situated, if you got your car set up, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's sad, bro. 18 years old, bro. Like, you could tell from that first picture that was posted to this picture, like, there was a big transition there.
She was slowly getting more distant from her family.
Yeah, the Lillian address is vacant.
I know.
And the officers had it boarded up. So, we didn't see any...
Sorry, Chad. I
blood,
just got my...
nothing. To be honest with you, I think somebody's playing.
Gun.
After this, Joni would give over a description of Samantha, including a distinctive butterfly tattoo on her right arm, before telling the cop one more crucial piece of information.
The name of the person she was last with, the supposed person that shot her.
Okay, sure.
Danny Hamby.
Who? Danny Hamby?
This wasn't a familiar name to
Danny
police,
Hamby.
and the officer still wouldn't seem to be too worried by the situation, but
I ain't
would
gonna
soon
lie, I
come to
think that's the
change.
dude that was in the beginning of the
The
video.
very
I seen
same
his
evening,
beard already.
After publishing a missing persons report
Why
of
you
Samantha,
chilling with
a
somebody
lone
that
man
age
would
at
come to police
18,
claiming
bro?
he knew exactly what happened
That's
to
sad,
her,
bro.
and
That's
would lead
sad.
police
That's
to
sad.
launch a months-long investigation into multiple people, all connected to the abandoned murder house.
Hold up. Stopping this video for a second. You guys already know what time it is, man. Drop a like if you're new here. If you're fucking with the video, drop a comment or drop a subscribe. You guys know what to do already. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of seconds to do that. Alright, we solid? Alright, back. So back to the video. And remember, future content coming soon.
Back in Akron, police had just published a detailed description of Samantha, and the morning after, a very worried man would contact and claim to have details that could either save her life or lead them to her body.
All right, today is Tuesday, and we're here with, what's your first name?
John Marshall.
All right, so we're here to talk about something that happened over on Lillian Street back in November 4th. All right, why don't you tell me about what happened that night?
John Marshall was the first of many witnesses in this case, and he got in contact with the cops after hearing that they were looking for Samantha. Apparently, he was actually at the house on the night everything happened, and saw it all with his own 2 eyes. The problem is, it almost sounds too good to be true. The cops don't know Marshall and can't necessarily trust him to give a truthful statement, meaning they'll have to verify all evidence he gives over. So as Marshall talks to the cops, we'll be keeping track of each piece of information and then following how the cops investigate and verify it all in order to hopefully solve the case and find Samantha.
Yo, life is like a big ass game of Clue, bro. This shit is interesting as fuck, bro.
I had been trying to get a ride over to the house for a few hours. I didn't feel like driving anymore to go pick her up, so I didn't pick her up that night. And a few hours later, she showed up from an Uber, I'm guessing, that her dad had.
All right, now when you say the house, what's the address?
75 Lillian.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Oh, he still got the same address.
Her dad paid for an Uber.
375 Lillian.
Okay.
This is already an easy piece of information to verify. If Samantha's dad did pay for the Uber, then he'd certainly remember that and be able to confirm it. And conveniently, the cops had interviewed her dad a few hours later, and he did indeed tell him that he'd bought her an Uber that night. On top of that, the address Marshall gave was also correct, so it seems that he's turning out to be trustworthy so far.
But I was walking to the Circle K on Copley and Rhodes to get cigarettes and a soda when I seen her and Yoshi walking to the house on Lillian. And about a half hour after I got back...
Yo, bro, nah, bro, because it's dead ass him. You see how they got the lineup, bro? That's dead ass how they did be playing it in Clue, bro. Life is dead ass a game of Clue, bro.
Walking to the house on Lillian. And about half hour after I got back to the house, and half hour, 45 minutes or so, Danny showed up and knocked on the back door. I answered the door.
Now, how do you know Danny?
Just in passing.
Do you know him from the house?
Yeah.
And you know what his last name is?
Hamby.
Now, things are starting to get weird. That's the name that Joni said could be the killer, and Marshall seems to know him and the people he's friends with.
Okay, was he by himself?
No, he was with Tony.
Okay.
Is what I was told her name was. And that one black guy that I've never seen before.
Okay, do you know what he looks like?
Yeah. I think, what's his name? Marcus? Something with an M, I want to say. Or,
what's he look like?
William.
Okay, William. All right, what's he look like?
Tall, about 6'2", 6'3", 225, medium build,
okay.
Dark skin.
So they came up to the back door?
Yeah.
All right, and they knocked on the door?
Yeah.
And who let him in?
I did.
Okay, so you let him in, and then what happens?
They went upstairs and talked to Jody. Upstairs in Jody's room was Jody, Kim, Kate, Sam, Then Danny and Tony and William stayed downstairs.
This is incredibly useful information that Marshall is passing over. He's just given the names of 6 potential witnesses and suspects.
Boy got the whole night in his pocket,
If this
boy.
is all true, then Marshall could have just taken this case from no leads at all to almost too much to handle. The only thing the cops need now is verifiable information about exactly what happened to Samantha. That's when the detective asks this question, and gets much more than he bargained for.
All right, so Sam and all them were upstairs.
Yes.
So what happens next?
I didn't hear any yelling or anything, but music was playing. And Sam came downstairs looking kind of distraught, and she looked at me. I'm like, then go out the back door. Go out the back door. If you know, she kind of looked like she was panicking, so I'm like, leave.
Right.
But she went to the basement, and 2 or 3 minutes later, I heard a little bit of a commotion, and then Sam came upstairs first, and she had like a little bit of a bloody nose.
Okay.
Or a busted lip, I couldn't tell. And she went back upstairs to Jody's room. Danny and Tony followed.
Like followed her or chased her?
No, followed. They just kind of, followed. And 5, maybe 10 minutes later, Sam came running down the stairs. Danny was right behind her, and by the time she got to the 4th or 5th stair down from the living room floor, he shot her in the back of the head.
It doesn't get much clearer than
fucking
that.
way.
Apparently, Samantha then fell to the ground, and the house fell into disarray. 2 men named Yoshi and William then started to order Marshall and his friends around before helping to carry Samantha's body to a vehicle outside. The detective was starting to get a perfect picture of what this case really was, but there was still one burning question.
Okay, is Sam alive?
It sounded she was making noises, but in my past experiences, it sounded more like death gargles, your body's shutting down.
Okay.
Honestly.
So she's still kind of breathing at this point.
Yeah, but she got shot in the back of the head by 8 to 10 inches away with a Smith & Wesson MP40.
Okay.
How the fuck you know the whole gun?
I beg your pardon?
Technically survived the shot, but it wasn't looking good. If she wasn't taken to a hospital quickly, she likely wouldn't have made it. But it doesn't seem like the killers were expecting her to live. At least the cops now have a possible murder weapon, a Smith & Wesson MP40. Remember though, the cops have already searched the house and didn't find any evidence of a murder. But given the importance of this information, they decide to go back and see if they missed anything. At this point, Samantha's life hangs in the balance. If they find a single bullet casing or blood splatter, it likely means that Marshall was telling the truth and Samantha is long dead.
So just pulled up.
So he had to be the one that called her mom in the beginning. He had to, Mom. He had to. That's crazy. Cause she said that she didn't even know who called, bro. And the dude who called sounded frantic, bro. That's insane, bro. That is insane. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That is some different shit, dude. That is different. That is different, bro. It's getting real right now. Ooh, I told you we got a good one tonight, chat.
These are the steps that Samantha was allegedly shot on, but the cops can't stop to investigate yet. Knowing how hot this house is and how many places there are for people to hide, they have to be on high alert and clear the entire place out before they can even think about letting their guard down. All 3 officers have their guns drawn and are doing their best to stick together
police,
should anybody be inside.
Who the fuck could be laying that low to even write that? Motherfuckers was wasted. What up, Kick Chat? What up, Kick Chat? I see y'all lurking. Y'all can say what up. Y'all can say what up. I don't bite. We on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube, man. We triple beaming this motherfucker.
Black Camaro lives in the parking lot.
By the looks of it, Dad came here.
Getting heavy!
It seems like the house is empty, but it's a complete mess. There's no obvious evidence of a murder
my son
anywhere,
Whalen
so
would
it's
say.
now clear why the cops
Getting
didn't find
heavy.
anything their first time here. However, Marshall had told them two very important things. Exactly where the shot was allegedly taken, and more importantly, that William and Yoshi had actually come back to clean up the scene. That means that any signs of the murder could be extremely difficult to find, but not impossible. In fact, you've actually already seen some evidence that proves Marshall's story to be 100% true. Take another look at the marking on this wall, right below the crack. It's a little difficult to see, but that isn't graffiti. That's Samantha Guthrie's blood. Once the cops spotted this, it all fell into place. Multiple blood spatters that hadn't been cleaned up were found on the walls, as well as the bullet casings that looked similar to the bullets that the Smith & Wesson MP40 uses.
And it was hair.
Marshall was telling the truth. Danny and Tony were now wanted for murder, and they had 4 other witnesses they could use to track them down and convict them. And in fact, they wouldn't have to wait long, as police were soon called to a house where a girl claimed a couple had chased her with a gun.
Not a fucking chance. Y'all niggas is out here already doing dumb shit.
How you doing today, sir? What's going on? This young lady came in my back door and what's going on? You want to step outside and talk? Who's they? Huh? Do you need EMS for anything?
This
This
is
is Kimberly.
shitless right
One
now.
of the girls
God
that Marshall
damn.
mentioned was at the house the day Samantha was shot. The owners of this home called the cops after she begged them to let her inside as she was being chased, allegedly by some others that frequent the house on Lillian Street. The cops are desperate to know what could have possibly made her this distressed, so they bring her outside to their cruiser to talk.
You're safe now, okay? Why don't you explain what's going on? Who's they? What do they look like?
This guy named Human.
Black guy, white guy?
Black, like short.
What was he wearing?
Black pants.
Wait, black.
A black like, short sleeve hoodie thing that like had a hood, like a drawstring right here, but it wasn't like a hoodie.
Just one black guy?
You know, they were just with a bunch of white guys. And I think
A black and white guy?
there was a black guy, like 3 white guys, and then a mix. I think I don't know. Oh, that was just running.
Whatever happened to Kimberly was clearly a blur to her, but the cops are starting to get a little concerned. Barely a couple days after Samantha's supposed death, one of the witnesses gets chased by a group of people holding guns. It could just be coincidence, albeit a terrifying one, so the cops ask her why she was in town to see if this could be related to anything else, and they get the most worrying answer possible.
So you're from the Falls, you were visiting a friend here in Akron. Where's that friend at now? And where do you know where they live?
I have no idea where they are. I have no idea.
I'm gonna run her name.
What's the friend's name? What's her last name?
Harris.
Jody Harris. Do you know what street she lives on?
That's a guy.
What's that?
It's a guy.
Okay, what street does he live on?
He's on Leah.
What is it? Lillian?
The only reason Kim was in town was to meet her friend Jody on Lillian Street. And she
Jody
doesn't know
Harris.
anyone else from around here.
Yeah, I could have
That's when
sworn
the
there was like
cops
a
come
case of some
to
girl
a
named Jody
horrifying
Harris.
realization. They think Kim was just attacked because she was a witness to Samantha's supposed murder. And now they have a terrifying situation on their hands. If they don't track down the killers and all their accomplices quickly, they could be looking at a lot more than just one murder. This case had now become a top priority, and all local officers and detectives were on high alert for any leads that could help them find even just one
But yo,
of the suspects.
what's the deal with Lillian
And
Street? Is
when
that's where
they
all
got a
of like
potentially
everything happens,
life-saving
Mo?
call.
Like,
a man was claiming
it's
that
a small
Danny and
ass
Tony
neighborhood,
had
bro.
pulled
How
a
y'all
gun
not
on
seeing
him
what the
inside
fuck is
house,
going
and that
on?
the suspects were now in the parking lot outside bragging about killing somebody just days earlier.
There goes my front camera tweaking
Cops
again.
immediately immediately headed to the scene, thinking this might be their chance to catch the lead suspects behind Samantha's disappearance.
Step out of the car! Step out of the car! Ma'am, move over here. Step out of the car. Hands up, please. Hands up, please. What is that? Okay. Put all that stuff down. Put it down.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Put it down. Hands on top of your head.
Why are you doing this?
Stay right there.
You know exactly why he's doing that shit, bruh. The fuck? Damn, I hate when my camera start tweaking. My shit just froze and all that.
I'm telling you for now, okay?
Bruh.
I'm gonna do what's going on in a second. Do you have any sharp on you? Any weapons or anything? Don't reach for nothing. Do you have any weapons on you? Have a seat. Stand up for me. What are you doing with your foot, man?
I got
Blisters?
blisters and fucking, it's called jumper rock. There's another one right here.
Where at? Don't reach.
The fifth pocket. Fifth pocket right here.
Okay.
There's a knife right there.
I'll take care of it.
I just want to make sure I got a bag of needles in my pocket.
A bag of needles, you said?
Fuck you got a bag of needles for, dude?
So far, this has been
Niggas be
surprisingly
strung
easy.
out,
At
gang.
this point,
Strung out on
the
that
officer had no idea it
cornball
would
shit.
actually be the interrogations that'd be the hardest part of this process, but he's enjoying the simplicity while it lasts. Soon, a couple more officers arrive on the scene to help search Danny and Tori, secure them, and collect
But ain't
some
no way that
information
got
before they're
caught
taken away
this
for questioning.
fast, dude. There gotta be more to the story, cause bro, we got a long way to go.
When I pulled up, he was in the driver's seat. She was digging in the trunk. As soon as she saw me, looked like she did something, she closed it real fast. I just did a quick pat down to make sure they didn't have any guns on him. But if you guys could try to get a hold of him, figure out what the hell is going on here.
You don't have anything on you that's gonna poke me, prick me, anything like that, right? No weapons we need to be aware of. If you do, tell me now.
I actually have my gun. I only have it because.
Where is it at? Is
I
it loaded?
It's not loaded. I only have.
She says she thinks she got a gun in her boobs. I mean, I would have felt that weight, nah?
Is it right here on the side?
Yes.
I don't want to set it off.
I
know. I
never used it before. I just my mom made sure I took it with me for the concrete. I'm the one.
She got a gun in her bra. I haven't found his yet.
Where's her? You got a gun?
I had 2 knives off the land there.
2 knives. What's your name?
Danny.
Is it okay if I take the packets here real quick?
You're toasted, dummy.
We're not trying to give anyone a hard time. We got a call that people with guns and warrants and things like that.
Warrants?
How you get a call for somebody with warrants? That's how the cops, you know the cops be lying, gang. Cops just be out here lying, bro. Lying, nigga. What?
There you go, go ahead.
Eventually, the officers brought Danny and Tony back to the station for interrogation, and this is where the hard part started for the detectives.
Lieutenant Wynn, Detective Ross. How you doing? So, they got you with a gun. Okay. You okay?
I want my attorney.
Okay. Can I read
Damn, nigga.
Yeah.
for the record?
Let something happen.
Silent. You understand this, right?
Here, it's important to note that Danny thinks he's been brought in just because of the gun incident. At this point, he is unaware that police have him and Tony as lead suspects for Samantha's disappearance. Detectives are doing this to potentially lead him into a fake story or timeline that they can prove wrong later.
You've indicated that you want to talk to your lawyer?
Correct. I don't know what it's about, but I still want my attorney. I know that.
Okay.
I do this.
All right. I don't know what to do about your...
I got 11 numbers. Give me my attorney.
All right. Man, I don't know what we can do about your freezing, but maybe get you out of here as soon as we can. How's that? While you're here, can we cover, at least cover something?
You can talk, I ain't gonna say nothing.
You mind if we get some swabs from you?
Like I said, you can talk, I ain't gonna say nothing.
All right.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I got 11 numbers, 23 years in the system. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. Without my attorney present, nobody else sitting here, I ain't got nothing to say.
Danny's been in this situation before.
Damn, it be the seasoned niggas, bro. Like, why you so seasoned in this shit, gang? I want to hear a story, bro. This story too crazy for you to just give it up like that, bro. Nigga, we know your ass going to jail, bro. We know your ass going to jail, bro. We know you going to jail. We know you fucking going to jail. We know you fucking going to jail, bro. We know you going to...
That's exactly what to do. At the very least, stall the detective's process for as long as possible. He's staying quiet and refusing to speak without an attorney present, as is his right. So the detectives have no other choice but to switch over to Tony and see if she will budge instead.
Let's have a seat there, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Whitten. This is Detective Ross.
Hi.
Yo, Chad, y'all like the setup, man? Y'all like the fucking setup or what, man? You get some W's in the chat. I like my tree. Like my tree and shit.
It's okay. Okay, good. Okay, you understand him and everything? Okay. There's a girl that's missing. And we have strong reason to believe he's involved in her disappearance.
He couldn't do that.
So,
He couldn't do that.
why couldn't he do it?
Because he's not that type of person.
Okay, but like I said, we have a lot of information pointing to his involvement in this girl's disappearance. So what I want from you to know if you've ever seen this girl before, and think hard before you answer, because we want to know if you've seen her. Okay, and you've never seen her before, that's true.
They're deciding to be a lot more upfront with Tony and treat her not as a suspect, but more of a witness. It's likely she wouldn't confess to being involved in the murder, but they think there could be a chance that she'd turn Danny in if she thought it meant she'd get away. Unfortunately, though, having been on the wrong side of the law in the past herself, she's not about to help the cops out so easily.
I'm going to be straight with you. He's looking at some serious problems. And from what you're telling me, if you were with him that whole time, the past 3 days, which she went disappeared in the last 3 days. So if you were with him the whole time, you know what my next leap is.
Well, that's ridiculous because he was with me. We were in Warren.
Think real hard, because this is very important to what happens with you in the future. Okay?
No, I get that. I'm not that stupid.
Okay, hang on. Hear me out. So this is not a misdemeanor crime we're investigating. We don't do that, okay?
Woo.
When we get involved, something bad.
That boy ain't playing with you, man.
Stuff went on this weekend.
This shit about to get
specifically yesterday,
real,
Saturday night at a house in Akron. So I don't want you to get in any trouble with something that you were just along for the ride. But if you're going to sit here and tell us with you the whole time, you think you're helping him, but you're not.
Talking hot.
You're
He
hurting
talking
yourself.
hot.
We
He talking
the
hot.
house where it happened at. We've talked to people that's been at the house. They were all at this house where this girl disappeared from. In fact, something bad happened to her at the house. You know why we know that? Because the guys, we've already talked to him all day. We spent all day talking to him. And he gave us detailed accounts of what happened at that house. So you have to think hard about how you want to handle this, because if you're going to sit here and vouch for him, that can get you caught. That can get you in trouble. You have kids?
Yes,
you
I have
mentioned
2 kids.
2 boys?
Yes.
And it looked like she has one on the way.
What would you do if one of those boys went missing?
Everything I could to find him.
Okay, would you expect people to help us to find him?
Bro, she ain't doing nothing to find these kids, bro. She's strung out on drugs, killing people, bro. Where your 2 sons at? Where your 2 sons at? Well, she ain't killing people per se, but she's an accomplice to a person who's killing people and they on the run. Doing whatever. Setting up next victims and shit like that, bro. Where her 2 sons at? You miss me with that bullshit.
To locate him?
Yeah.
The route the detective is taking is obvious and would work
Shit
on the
getting
majority
real,
of people.
chat.
He's trying to
Word.
scare Tony into giving up what she knows so they can get to the bottom of things faster. If she gives Danny up, she might get a good deal with them, but if not, things could end up real badly for her. The most interesting dynamic here, though, is how the detective is trying to use Marshall's earlier statement against her. This happens all the time, but usually they're exaggerating the strength of the evidence or making it up completely. This time, though, they actually have an airtight statement, but Tony simply doesn't believe them. That means she thinks she can just continue to deny everything, and instead of taking a deal for less jail time, she can just get away with no charges. So with this in mind, watch how confidently she denies everything, unaware that the detectives know every word she speaks is a lie.
So,
damn,
this girl, his family.
I'm sorry to keep pausing once again, chat, but you can't be under the microscope that bad and continue to try to lie your way out of it, bro. You literally under the scope, bro. Niggas done told on you and your mans, bro. You not fighting your way out of that, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. There's no way you're getting out of this, but you gonna sit there and continue to lie? Bro, tell the truth on this nigga so we can see what the fuck is going on, bro. Let's see what the fuck is going on.
Has been out looking for her all day. Okay, but unfortunately, we already know what happened to her. So from here on out, anything that based on what you're telling us, I mean, we're giving you this chance to talk to us now. Anything that in relation to her, what happened to this girl, is going to be attached to you too, okay? Because we're giving you a chance. But if you want to cover for him, that's fine. I don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter to me.
That's just.
We're going to move on
I'm
with the
sorry
investigation.
that this happened to that girl. I don't.
We have reason to believe you were there.
That I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't kick it in Akron like that. I just started to come to Akron when I got hired.
We're not saying that it was a every weekend thing, but we're saying that we have reason to believe, based on what we've been doing all day.
Bro, she bold-faced trying to lie her way out of this shit. That's crazy, Mo. That's crazy.
Oh, that's ridiculous because I don't know anybody really from Akron.
You know, actually, in addition to the people that we talked to, said that this all started because you and this girl got into some kind of altercation.
I don't know this girl. I've never seen this girl.
Okay, like I said, once we move forward in this investigation, from what you're telling us, since you're with him, you're going to be attached to whatever we do with him. You understand that, right?
Well, yeah,
Man, it's hosted for you, boy.
Just so we got that clear.
I've never seen that girl.
Who's that?
I don't know who that is either.
You hardly even looked at him.
I looked at him. I don't know who that is.
Well, I got to know him. So did Detective Ross. We got to know him a lot today. We spent the entire day with him.
Well, what's his name?
And, well, that's not important. You don't know him, so what difference does it make?
I'm out of here. She tried to get the fucking witness name.
Photo, as he's the man that
Dumbass
helped load
nigga.
Samantha into her car. That man is Yoshi. Conveniently, Yoshi, whose real name is Dylan, had just been brought in on unrelated warrants, and detectives couldn't believe their luck. One of the main witnesses, possibly even an accomplice, had been brought right to them without any.
Bro, that be the fuck shit right there, chat. That be the fuck shit right there, cause bro, if you know you got warrants and all that, why you doing shit, bro? Why you doing shit, bro? You on paperwork, gang, and you out here doing shit, bro.
Ever whatsoever. The best part,
Bad
Dylan
vibes,
wasn't
bro.
the
Bad
hardened
vibes,
criminal
bro.
they expected. In fact, his interrogation was unlike anything you've ever seen. Not only is it truly heartbreaking, but it was actually key to putting not one, not two, but 3 people.
Oh, he ain't that
behind bars
old
for
though.
Samantha's
He just
murder.
look old with his stupid ass beard, but he ain't that old.
Serious. Did something bad happen to her? I don't know. She's a young girl, man.
No,
What happened to her?
I don't know. I just found her a couple of days ago.
Help us. Help us. You see something bad?
Bro, you crying, gang. Like, you crying before he even got a word out, bro. You know what happened. You know what happened and you know what you did, bro.
Not 5 minutes into the interview, we see an emotion painted on Dylan's face you don't often see in the interrogation room. He's holding back tears, trying to hide his face, and is exhibiting a type of stress you rarely see in criminals. He's terrified and devastated at the same time. After all, he's just 19 years old. He shouldn't be caught up in all of this. The detective picks up on this
that nigga a
immediately
baby.
and wants to figure out precisely why Dylan feels so strongly about all this. They spend some time discussing simple details, with Dylan deflecting pretty much everything. But this whole time, the stress is building up in Dylan, and 15 minutes later, the detective notices that he's on the verge of completely breaking down, and he decides to exploit this perfectly.
What did you see?
I told you what I saw.
No, I mean, there's more that you saw. We need your help. She deserved to get killed like this.
For real.
Help us. What if this was your family member, your sister?
Boy. The tactics they use is
Hey,
wild.
there comes a time where in your life where you have to make a right decision, do the right thing. We need your help.
She's actually dead.
Okay.
Is she?
Oh, he was asking.
That's what I'm talking to you about. Did you see something that happened to her? If we talk about it, you're gonna feel like the weight of the world is off your shoulders. There's only one thing that makes a person get this emotional. That's if they saw something bad.
I remember a couple days ago when we were talking, we were having a good time, and I don't know why.
Don't know why what?
Nah, for real, it's not even like they had a motive to kill her. Shit, they just did it.
So close to her.
Some guy said, well, you're close to the same age, right?
That's
you felt a
why.
connection with her? Because you maybe had the same problems growing up and stuff like that?
She was 18, he was 19. That's a fact. That emotional connection between the ages. He don't. I bet both of them ain't want to be chilling with an age group like that, bro. They way too older, and then these are babies, bro. Babies, bro. I don't understand why y'all out here fucking doing drugs and hanging out with them and shit in abandoned cribs, but to each his own, my brother.
You listen to music as well?
Did you guys listen to them? You guys like?
She played music. I don't really prefer music. I just like the white noise.
It's tough, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're here.
I think fine up to this point. Not talking about it, not thinking about it. I mean, I was thinking about it, but
what were you thinking about?
Just that this person that could have been a potentially good friend, or maybe, I don't know, is not going to be that person.
No, it hurts, doesn't it? Maybe you can help her. She may not be here, but that doesn't mean you can't help her.
Help her what?
Let's find out what happened to her.
There are hardly any words to describe what Dylan must be feeling here.
He want to just explode, like, bro. That's the face of a man who wants to explode and just tell the truth, bro. Look at that. Look at that grin.
The bad crowd. He also clearly loved Samantha, which is really the biggest tragedy of all. Over the dozens of interrogations with witnesses that were conducted, detectives realized that Samantha was murdered over a small disagreement with Danny and Tony. It was needless, senseless, and ruined countless lives, and Dylan is unwillingly right in the center of it all. The detective gives Dylan a moment to calm down and work through his emotions. Then he tells Dylan that he has one more chance to tell him what happened, bring peace to Samantha's family, and get to the bottom of this once and for all.
I was on my way out. Sam came back and I guess his girl or someone came in with her. They were yelling at each other, arguing, going towards the direction of downstairs. She turned around, came back, either slapped her or put something on her cheek or something. I don't know. And she went downstairs. While she was on the stairs, turning that corner to go down the rest of the stairs, he followed her and held the gun up, shot. I don't know where he hit her. He only grazed her. She fell on the ground at the bottom of the stairs. I had to carry her out to the trunk.
Did he make you do that? Did he make you carry her out to the trunk?
I wasn't not going to.
You still have the gun out at that time?
No. But I mean, that's not what had me do it. I mean, there's a body in the living room and blood everywhere now. So we got all the furniture, or I got all the furniture out of the living room, tore up the carpet, cleaned up the woody floor underneath.
Where's the carpet at?
Gone.
Gone where?
Burned.
How'd you get all the furniture out of there?
I moved it.
What did you do once it was outside?
It wasn't outside, it's all in the kitchen.
Still in there?
Everything Dylan has said lines up perfectly with not just Marshall's statement, but the evidence too. Outside, the detectives found a fire pit where something had recently been burned. They surmised that this was a carpet with all of Samantha's blood on it. And inside, right at the bottom of the stairs we looked at earlier, a large area of carpet and drywall are missing right where Samantha was shot. However, that's where Dylan says his involvement ended, meaning he can't answer the single, most important question that the detectives still had. Where was Samantha's body? For that, they told the cops to turn to the fourth and final suspect that the cops had had since the very beginning.
Yo,
William.
You see how they just wrap this shit up with the little clues? Yo, bro.
Body.
This shit wicked, Mom. I'm telling you.
Our concerns, obviously, mostly for the family. And I think you're probably feeling that way too a little bit. Whatever this girl's relationship with her mom and dad, she has a mom and dad, and they want to be able to bury the kid. I know she's dead. I know you're probably wiped out. I mean, we're wiped out, dude. We've been at this since this morning, so we're wiped out too. We ain't eating. I know you probably haven't eaten either, but and I understand you're having some issues as far as where you guys actually were at. So we want you to try at least think about like where are you guys with the body in the back of the car.
I remember going back home and going up the hill. And unfortunately, it's just the way that I was laying down in the back.
You were like actually physically laid down, or you were like just kind of relaxed?
No, like this. They wanted me to lay out. They wanted me to lay low. Like I was crunched up, I was down. I thought they wanted me to lay down in the back, and they wanted me to see where we're going. And I really thought that was it for me, really.
William was happy to cooperate with the detectives, which made their jobs considerably easier.
Oh, that nigga lay down in the back, don't
he
look.
didn't actually see where they drove. He was
Wicked,
forced
Mo.
to lay down in the back of the car so nobody saw him in the car from the outside, so he might not be as helpful as the detectives initially thought. However, he was able to tell them that they didn't travel for very long and gave a description of the area where they finally hid the body.
Was there like a lot of, was it a real rural area? Was there a lot of
it was getting more rural at that point. Yeah, I remember just a lot of.
This shit gets
before we got to the
spicy, man.
Place with the fenced off area where he pulled in, where he wanted to just take her body to. I just remember like a lot of taller trees. I remember seeing a lot of orange, a lot of a lot of the fall colors, just really popping out. Like it was just really, really bright because there was so many trees. So I knew we were getting more work. Then I popped up to get out of the car. Like I said, it was just like a 2-lane road, not really marked, just a 2-lane road. I didn't see any cars coming and going.
It wasn't the most detailed description ever, but it turns out it was all they needed. A few days later, an officer mentioned they might know an area just outside of Akron that matched the description, so they sent out a patrol car to search the area, and sure enough, they found it. Samantha's body lying amongst the dirt, not even buried, just dumped out in the open. Immediately, they were able to identify it by the butterfly tattoo on her arm that her mother had mentioned all those days ago. Their search had finally come to an end, and her family could finally make peace. The only question now was what to do with the suspects. The detectives clearly named Danny as the murderer, with Tony having a large role in the murder too. However, despite how helpful William ended up being, the rest of his interview and other witness statements implied he had a lot more to do with the murder than he initially let on. So he was charged with abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence, with a sentence of 10 years. And the court had to decide on the fate of Dylan. the 19-year-old. They decided that he shouldn't have been involved in this, and given a second chance, he might be able to get his life back on track. So he was charged with tampering and obstructing, but he was only given 5 years of probation. As for the killer couple, Tony was given 16 years for tampering with evidence and obstruction of justice, and Danny was charged with murder and abuse of a corpse, and given a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 24 years. Thanks again, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. Head over to surfshark.com/insanity or click the...
That one was wicked, chat. I ain't gonna lie to you. That one was fucking different, my boy. What? Nah, bro. I don't understand it, though, bro. Like, she was only 18, bro. And the dude that helped was 19. William ain't even know what the fuck was going on. Because they had that nigga lay down in the back, told him, shh, don't look. Bro. I like how they put it together like Cluedo, the game of Clue, bro. If you, like, I don't, bro, different. I see you, YouTube.